My heart pumping all day long. Get me the morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. It takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart pumping all day long. When the evening comes, please stay strong. Give me the morning when darkness falls. My heart, I found victory in the Father's love from the day we wed, and those vows to hold true. Nothing's gonna tear me down until the day I'm dead. My heart belongs to you. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. Gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. Yeah. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust, yeah, it's the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like love, nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? I don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. Walking a gray line in a world that's black and white. Wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry, didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain, the rain, the rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. Just take it. Just take it. Watching you go through it. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark.
Sharing of bias Biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As the world watches and listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering do or die around me. You say your last good night while I get
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
The ammunition used by Psywar.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night closing.
but the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psywar soldiers.
Hello, hello, hello. So there's that one. Hello, hello. Hello? Hello? Yeah, hang on, guys. The damn audio on my solo cam is fucked up. I don't know why. Give me a minute. Hello? 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 Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Okay. It appears I have volume. Ed, can you hear me? If you're out there, give me a thumbs up or something. You gotta be kidding me. It's fucking bullshit. Yep, okay. All right. Anyway. All right, this is episode 37, guys. I'm sorry. The, whatever the hell went on with the audio there, beats the fuck out of me. I can just tell you that. I'm not some audio technician, so when that shit goes like that and does that, it takes me a lot longer, I guess, to figure it out than most. But it pisses me off. But anyway, this is Caught Up, episode 37, Hidden in Your World, You've Made for Me. Sort of fitting. The world that they made for me obviously was trying not to give me any fucking volume. Tonight, the exposure phase continues, the evil that men do, the length that what this government will do to keep the power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. And I don't mean necessarily like we're all supposed to, in this kinetic warfare or whatever. But there are things that we can do to ruffle the feathers a little bit, so. Alright, guys, Caught Up is an echo chamber for content creators. Almost all content on this show, Caught Up, is created by citizen journalists. I share content created by citizen journalists who I believe to be the best at finding facts buried deep into the abyss, or outlets who I believe to be best for the verifiable information. We have to operate within their system, and we only have the information that they allow us to have. These individuals who nerd out on fact-finding missions and then add their opinion to better inform me to make the best choice for me in this war of narratives is Resolute. The information war is a battle for your mind and ultimately compliance. I'm excited to share the content in hopes you'll turn off mainstream media, who I believe is just another version of entertainment. So, again, welcome to Caught Up, and thank you guys for dealing with, my, what do they call that? Technical difficulties, right? Yeah. If we can be heard now. Yeah. All kinds of static going on. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm not exactly happy with the recording at the moment. Don't know why it's acting this way, so it threw me off. I had some things I wanted to say in the very beginning. I wanted to talk about the garbage that's going on, just real briefly, with the Kamala Harris and all that other good stuff like that, and it threw me for a loop, and I sort of forgot where I was at. So here I am. Trying to get it back together. So tomorrow's Tennessee's first game. Play Chattanooga at home. Nico Amaliva, that dude right there, whose name I probably messed up, is a badass, and got high hopes for our Tennessee team here. So looking forward to that. Is it staticky out there? I can't tell. This war of narratives is resolute. The information war is a battle for your mind. Are you saying yes, there's a lot of static? That shut me down, didn't it? How's that? Is that better? I'll tell you in just a second. That shut me down, didn't it? How's that? Yeah, much better. Yep. Yep. I don't know what it is, guys. All I did was hit properties, turn it off and turn it back on, and it fixed it. When I tried to do that 10 times before, in the middle of all this, at the beginning of the show, it didn't do it, and then all of a sudden it worked. So is that technology? Can I blame that on Big Brother, maybe? I mean, I'm so big with my... I got 38 real followers, and the rest are fucking bots that some dude from Rumble gave me because he was trying to get me to buy into some package while they were trying to shadow ban my little show here. So really, I don't have that many followers, although it shows that I have, I don't know, 61 or something like that. So I probably really got 41 because they gave me 20 fake fucking bots, you know what I mean, to try to get me to buy into something here. So anyway, I'll get off my little kick here in just a second. I hope the sound is better. Sort of sounds better, so yeah, I'll get it all together soon enough here. So anyway, should be a good show. And we know, X22 report had some interesting things to say yesterday and today about CISA and all things created cyber infrastructure, right? And then we know that Zuckerberg wrote a letter in order to. So okay, here we go. These guys that are all of a sudden that are coming forward, like the Zuckerbergs of the world, wrote a letter, signed it, and trying to get ahead of what's fixing to happen, because they obviously know that they can't stop what's going on. Trump's going to win this. They're going to have to find all kinds of other areas to cheat, fraud, cyber infrastructure, just whatever you can think in your mind. It could be absolutely reality, you know what I mean, where they just shut all the power off to the United States on the day of the election. I mean, who controls the fucking button? I don't have that option. Somebody else does. Whether the bill's paid or not, someone has that opportunity. I mean, we have rolling brownouts and blackouts out there in California. It was a couple years ago on Christmas Day. We had one here in East Tennessee, and we have TVA authority in all the dams, right? So we know they can do whatever the hell they want in order to disrupt what's going to happen here in the set future. I don't know, is it 60 days or so left? 70 days, something like that, for the election. And if I'm wrong on my adding, You know, I went to public school in East Tennessee, along with some of my vocabulary as well and my explicit of language. It's all a part of the culture in which I was born, and I'm not racist, but I don't like Mexicans. I like the ones that are here legally, but I don't like the ones that are here illegally. My whole entire labor life of, you know, since high school to where I am now in my field of construction, has been slowly but surely infiltrated. It's been a war. It's been an invasion on my trade. And so, yeah, I might be a little racist to the son of a bitches that can't speak English, that you can't communicate with, that can't show you exactly, you know, what made them come here and why they became a U.S. citizen and they gave up their citizenship from wherever it was they came from, or they carry dual citizenship. I don't care. But, you know, the ones that are crossing the border that can't speak a lick of English, that just sort of look at you funny when you talk to them are the motherfuckers I'm talking about right there. So we all know that they've done these phases and everything that's going on, and they're coming out with, you know, all these exposures of the immigration with Kamala and just all of it, you know. It's just all googly gopped up together here, you know. And so I know I said a lot there. It probably went nowhere, but it really does go somewhere if you digest each little part of it. And anyway, that's my little rant at the moment. But I will get into what's going on. I want to go back over some of the Zuckerberg stuff here because there's been some interesting, it just, what's coming out, you know what I mean? He wants to make sure he's covering his ass so that when Trump gets back in office, because Trump has given everybody the opportunity to come clean, right? They haven't. They haven't, but all of a sudden Zuckerberg has. So, all right, let's go to this content here, the Zuckerberg content real quick, right? Can I be heard? Let's see. We'll find out. Can I be heard? Let's go to this content. Yeah, we'll find out. Can I be heard? I'm heard. All right, so it says here, look, it says Zuckerberg's admission of government censorship complex gives new life to Murthy versus Missouri Supreme Court case with plaintiff Jim Hoff from the Gateway Pundit, and the article obviously is Gateway Pundit. Interesting thing is, you get some reality from some news anchors and then some that you don't. Check this out.
Target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
Mark Zuckerberg confirming that the Biden-Harris administration censored Americans and interfered in the last election.
Zuckerberg, in a letter to Congress, admits the Biden-Harris team bullied them into censoring content, even jokes, writing, quote, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire.
Modern war has become a struggle for men's minds as well as for their bodies.
The Biden administration understands that one of the most effective methods of breaking brainwashing is satire and humor.
But research on its psychological effects suggests satire does have power.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump.
Humor has the ability to suspend counter-argumentation in a way that regular discourse does not.
It is incredibly dangerous to someone who's attempting to brainwash.
When things are presented in a humorous way, you're going to get less resistance.
That's why there's no other rational explanation for the censoring of satire and overt humor. Unless there's two things you're trying to accomplish: demoralization of an entire people and brainwashing.
Today we face an enemy who spends enormous sums of money and manpower all over the globe in attempts to subvert thinking of the people of the free world, confuse, divide, and ultimately to subjugate.
So you really can't overstate just how obsessed
the military and intelligence world is with stopping the rise of funny, subversive memes. They were training people on myths, narratives, and memes, political warfare in the information age. This is military intelligence looking at shitposting memes on the internet and saying, we have to censor subversive memes that challenge our narratives.
It is a contest unlike any we have ever faced in our history as a nation. Contest for the minds and hearts of people around the world.
There was a massive demoralization effort underway using COVID-19. This is one of the darkest times, I believe, in American history, is those COVID-19 lockdowns and the segregation of people, the separation of people. They were targeting humor and satire. There are times over the last 4 years, the only thing you had was sense of humor. The Biden administration wanted you to suffer.
The Biden administration wanted you to suffer. That's amazing. Satire and humor. The Daily Meme team guys, they do a fantastic job. So it says, Real Ed Reno, everywhere I've been, the people are fed up. You got to remember, Real Ed Reno is a truck driver. He travels coast to coast, north, south, east, west, bloop, bloop, whatever. And so he's been some places, which means he's seen some things. He hears some things. And when he says some stuff like that, that people are fed up, to me, it's a small sample size of what's going on across our nation. Being the fact that I'm sort of stuck in East Tennessee, he actually gets to get out there and get out a little bit. And hopefully he's talking about the show Caught Up, because we talk about Real Ed Reno. He also said in the UK, people are being locked up in prisons for posting memes. And he says we're there. We'll say this. In the last year, Facebook, YouTube, all that has been way more Facebook, YouTube, all that has been way more open to everything I've had to do. Right now I got censored on YouTube, but for what? You'd be surprised. I made an 18-minute skit out of Jeff Dunham's political dummy Walter and put it together on my little video app and shared it only on YouTube. And because I got all the video from YouTube thinking it would be okay, and then they hit me for copyright violations and they removed it. And then I used 1 minute 34 seconds of a skit from Jeff Dunham with Walter on YouTube, which I got from YouTube, because remember, I'm an echo chamber. I share most everything. Other people make it. And they removed that whole show because of the 1 minute 34 seconds, because they said it was globally banned. All the information I got to make those little skits were all off of YouTube, so the censorship was real. But for the most part, I've been able to have a whole lot more freedom than I was in 2020 and in 2021, where I was putting time out so much. So let's get back to the show. Where were we at? So we saw the video there, and then here's the content for the admission. And here we got yesterday, billionaire. Let me get my glasses, guys. Facebook founder Zuckerberg, who is CEO of the company, renamed as Meta, admitted in a letter to Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan that social media giant was subjected to the government censorship around stories related to COVID and the 2020 election, and that he would in the future fight such efforts harder than he did previously. And let's not forget about the Hunter laptop. Zuckerberg also said that he would not make another Zuckerbucks $419 million donation to amplify voting in key left-leaning districts around the nation, a scheme that helped Democrats' districts turn out voters and heavily compensate election workers in what said described as bribing election officials and workers. The Biden-Harris censorship industrial complex changed policies against political right at Amazon, YouTube, Google, Facebook, among others. It said Zuckerberg's letter made these 5 key admissions. 1. The Biden administration pressured Facebook to censor America in what other court filings are referred to as coercive demands. 2. Facebook subsequently censored Americans. 3. Facebook censored Americans and suppressed information related to COVID-19. 4. Facebook suppressed the Hunter laptop story because it was told by intelligence community that it was Russian disinformation, which is now known to be a complete lie and fabrication. Guys, this is Mark Zuckerberg. And 5, Zuckerberg and the company regrets censoring Americans on behalf of the demands by the federal government and would resist it more strongly in the future. And Zuckerberg would not be making another major donation to the far left election officials to subsidize see that? Do you see how he just exposed the federal government? That administration who is not legitimately in office legally. The burden of proof falls on them. Did you see? Those are his words, ladies and gentlemen. They're not mine. It's not a conspiracy theory. Obviously, it could be because then that would make it true. He wrote a letter, he signed it, he sent it to Jim Jordan in Congress at some subcommittee. His words. Let's carry on. These admissions are also important because the federal courts are still hearing a case in Missouri versus Biden, where the states of Louisiana and Missouri are challenging the Biden-Harris violations of the First Amendment and on behalf of their affected citizens. Yes, Reuters, and Political. They all had something to say. Said the Biden censorship complex only operated during the pandemic, right? By saying, Reuters, in their headlines that it was just about pressure. Political. Seems like whining when they refer to it as pressure, and that Zuckerberg regrets not being more outspoken. And that these are all amount to grievances.
37 hours after he took the oath of office.
See, he gave this information up voluntarily. He lied about some of this, I think, when he was subpoenaed a long time ago. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. When he went before court, it was him and Jack Dorsey, I think, and a few others, you know. So, yeah, they got some explaining to do. Very much so. To the tone of, listen to what RFK Jr. has to say about all of this.
37 hours after he took the oath of office, President Biden's White House opened up a portal for the FBI to begin to have access to social media posts on all the different social media sites. And the FBI then invited in the CIA, the DHS, the IRS, and CISA. CISA is this new agency that is the center of the censorship industrial complex that is in charge of making sure Americans don't hear things that their government doesn't want them to hear. And those agencies and other agencies, including the health agencies like CDC, were given access to go into the social media sites and change posts and slow walk things and shadow ban posts. That it was part of that effort. They removed my Instagram account. I had almost 1 million followers. They say it was for misinformation, but they could not point to a single post that I ever made that was factually erroneous. And they actually Facebook pushed back in the email chain. You can see Facebook pushing back at the White House and saying, wait a minute, he's not, this isn't misinformation. This is not factually erroneous. What they're saying is actually true. And they had to invent a new word, which is called malinformation, which is information that is factually true, but nevertheless inconvenient for the government. And that became disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. That's what that is. So everybody, and
isn't that illegal? That's illegal.
Yeah, and the emails show that Facebook, the people said they were saying about the White House in their private emails with each other. These people are cynical, terrible people, and they knew what they were doing was breaking the law. But they were under tremendous pressure. I mean, Facebook has all these deals with the government and, as do all the media companies with the intelligence agencies and elsewhere. Plus, the White House was overtly telling them that they were going to, if they didn't comply, that their Section 230 immunity was in jeopardy.
Did you see what he just said? They were pressured. So apparently RFK Jr. just gave these gentlemen an out. You're talking Jack Dorsey, you're talking Zuckerberg, you're talking, because they were pressured by that schedule. Was it 2:30, he said? It's amazing at the lengths what our federal government will go to on the wrong side of things to hide or subvert information from the public. They're not transparent about anything. The fact that these guys that I listen to, watch, who I share, how hard they have to dig to get to the truth, to find this stuff so that they can share it, so that I can turn around and share it and do the same thing, It's amazing. Absolutely amazing to me. So anyway, let's get back to Zuckerberg here. So RFK had that to say. Here we go. Wayne Root. The easiest criminal case to prosecute in history. Zuckerberg just confessed in writing and implicated the entire U.S. government, Biden administration, in conspiracy to commit election interference, extortion, treason, mass murder, and crimes against humanity. It says, I have a life and death question for red state AGs and district attorneys. The most important question in modern history. What the hell are you waiting for? Right? Because we just uncovered the greatest conspiracy to betray the citizens of America and commit treason since Benedict Arnold. The letter that he just wrote and sent to Congress. AGs and DAs, what are you waiting for? As he said, Wayne Root, what the hell are you waiting for? But this time we can add mass murder and crimes against humanity. And the confession is in writing for all the world to see. This massive criminal case is a gift wrapped with the bow on top. So what are you waiting for? Zuckerberg just confessed in writing in front of the whole world to terrible crimes against America, the U.S. Constitution, and the American people, all because he was forced, extorted, and I'm guessing bribed, blackmail and threatened by the U.S. government and the highest officials of the Biden administration, which what I would have to say is probably your mystery man, Obama. Bet you he's got all kinds of that, huh? How much you want to bet he's probably the guy? He's still a puppet, I'm sure, and but he's a puppet that's in control of some other puppets. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's easy to go after Kamala Harris and her role as border czar, indict her for fraud, malfeasance, dereliction of duty, treason. How many Americans have been murdered and raped or died from fentanyl overdoses because of the dereliction of duty? How about red state AGs and DAs? What are you waiting for? Of course, Tim Walz is the biggest fraud and common in the history of politics. He's guilty of stolen valor, lying about his rank and military service, not to mention lying about his wife using IVF to get pregnant because it never happened, and so many other lies, they've lost count. That's only a small part, a small start. Zuckerberg implicated the entire U.S. government, top officials in the Biden administration. This government gangster bullied, intimidated, threatened, and no doubt bribed or blackmailed Zuckerberg and his staff to commit these terrible crimes against the American people. So, these are the highest crimes, including election interference, mass murder, crimes against humanity, and treason, ladies and gentlemen. And there's 11 people watching live right now. Ed's on here, I'm on here. That means there's 9. Smash the like button, please. Comment in the chat. We have a live chat going on. You can also comment on Facebook or YouTube. We're there as well. Anyway, give your opinion. Like the show. Don't like the show. If you saw the very beginning and you saw the frustration from Brian Riley because the volume of his microphone would not work, I apologize for that. But as it is, life goes on, right? So back to the thing. These are the highest crimes, including election interference, mass murder, crimes against humanity, and treason. Zuckerberg is a witness to it all. It's another exposure phase, guys. He came clean to cover his ass. Trump's give everybody the opportunity to come clean so that when he gets back in this position, when he becomes back to the position in which is rightfully his, the second time and this third time, Zuckerberg is going to be saved, right? Is Jack Dorsey going to be saved? Probably. These guys all have an out. They just gave up your federal government. See, this is no longer a conspiracy theory, people. This is not just something that you can say, it may have not or it may have happened. You have the owner of Meta, Facebook, and whatever else. He just gave up his hand. I wonder how much security that guy's got. I mean, I'd be a little nervous. Mark Zuckerberg. The case is so easy to prosecute. Just offer Zuckerberg full immunity to testify to the crimes and the names involved. Then offer each of them immunity for the names of their bosses. Then offer immunity to each of the bosses to the names who gave the ultimate orders to rig and fix the election and condemn millions of Americans to death and injury, all in the name of greed. Trillions of dollars were made as a result of election interference and from vaccine sales and stock profits by Big Pharma and all their conspirators in the U.S. government and Biden administration, all roads lead to Biden, Kamala, Dr. Fauci, the top officials of the FBI, DOJ, CIA, CDC, FDA, HHS, and the NIH. Everyone got rich, and Americans died. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about this for quite some time, some of us for a long, long time. Long before Trump was even in office, back when Obama was the so-called president then, we were trying to sound the horn. Back then I was, but only sharing articles that I was getting from Epoch Times or the Gateway Pundit on Facebook, because really wasn't aware of podcasting quite that way. I was trying to remove myself from the mainstream media where I was watching the news every day. This is prior to COVID-19, when they had all the death count and everything else that was going on. It's just a shame at what's happened. We told you then they were out to destroy America. I tried to say back then that Venezuela was one of the richest countries for its size, where its location was, and what resources it had to offer in the world. And it didn't take 15 years to destroy that country. Here we are in the 8 years of Obama, and then 4 years of this illegitimate Biden administration would make 12 of 16 years of certain destruction of our country, had it not been for the 4-year interference there of the Trump administration. I'm telling you, you need to wake up. You need to be sharing this kind of stuff. You need to be telling people what the hell's going on. They're not getting it on the mainstream media. Right now they're telling you that Kamala Harris is beating Trump in the polls. Where the fuck did that bitch come from? She wasn't in a primary. She was never even voted for. As a matter of fact, way back when, in 2019, she didn't even get 1% and was out of the primary, and they made her VP. Why? To counter Biden? Now, it may sound stupid when you game theory that shit out, but let's face the truth here, people. If we're going to be honest, then we have to go down these avenues to make sure that we're trying to get the best truth out of it all. So she was a shrill for Obama. They knew that Biden wasn't going to follow all of the propaganda and narratives because he already had made his money. He was so greedy, it didn't matter. My whole basis of this, of Joe Biden, is how do you destroy a 50-year politician? You make him an illegitimate president, and then you show all the corruption for the last 50 years. The plagiarism between Joe Biden all the way back to his time in college, and then Kamala Harris, they fudge all the fucking numbers, right? Was it the first Friday of every month? The employment numbers and labor and all that, right? Now there's an article out today about where they've fudged the numbers of the gotaways that are coming into the U.S. at the border, and then exactly how many are coming in at the border. You bet your ass they know who's coming in. Because like I said, I did a show where I'm in my hometown Walmart, and these Mexicans are coming in with 2 phones. The one that they came across the border with, and the one that they got when they got into the border of the United States. They're using Apple Pay, they're getting money, they're driving newish cars, I say newish, with drive-out tags. If you follow them out in the parking lot, they're getting groceries and everything, all on the taxpayer dollars. This is all an operation that was to be exposed, but these were done. This was all put in place by certain people in these administrations, and here we are. So was she there to counter the Biden stuff? I mean, I got a video out there I made called the Jedi Mind Trick. They sat Biden down and they put Harris in, and they told you would vote for Harris. And you will. I mean, as you can see, there are some people that's already changed just like that. They didn't like her until they did that Jedi Mind Trick ass on them. We've been preaching the same thing. I've been consistent for a long damn time, consistently saying the same thing, looking for the truth, researching my ass off, finding the podcasts and the people. Here we go. Badlands Media, X22 Report, And We Know. And We Know is a Christian perspective. If you don't like my mouth and the explicit language or the other podcasters, And We Know, LT, Christian perspective. He doesn't cuss or anything on that show. Former Marine, 20-some years. I mean, you want to get real, true, factual information? He's sharing the exact same shit that I'm sharing. He probably does it better. He's got a larger platform, all that stuff. And his show is Romans 8:28, And We Know. All things, right? All things. So there are platforms, there are outlets, there are places for you to go when you're looking for exactly the right area. I'm a different flavor. You know? I want to get it out there. I want people to see what they're doing. That we don't have to operate this way. We don't have to be like this. I am waiting for other people to catch up so that we can move our country in the direction that the forefathers wanted it to go. I don't mean that we have to go back to candles and no electricity and horses and no vehicles. I'm talking we keep our technology, the electricity, the air conditioning, the vehicles that we drive, all that stuff under the pretenses of taxation without representation. You know, what about due processes? I mean, all these things, and not just on a federal level, state level, the lawfare that goes on in your own community, in my town alone. Real Ed has said it before, our sheriff has been a sheriff for a long fucking time. I voted, I don't know that I've ever voted for him. I wrote my name in, or typed it in, whatever, for sheriff. The same with our judges in this town. Brian Riley, I wrote my name in. I ain't voting for them son of a bitches. They're not right. They practice doing things illegally. See, Ed says there's not enough popcorn and they should all face charges. They absolutely should all face charges, but we have to start at a local level and work our way up. And right now, everything on the federal level is being exposed. Legislative, executive, judicial, and then this fourth branch that they've made up, all the NGOs, everything else, and all that involved in it and that goes along with that. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. And now you got Mark Zuckerberg trying to cover his ass, writes a letter, throws them all under the bus. The money that he probably all donated to their campaign was probably all given to him to begin with, to donate to the campaign. Give it to him to put all them boxes out there. Not saying that he didn't have the money, but why would you spend your own money if someone else is going to give it to you? And since we're going to be smart and game theory things out, we're going to think common sense like and logically. You have to go down these roads. All right, here's the sum of these developments. The sum, guys. We have the sum, right? If this was Trump, he'd already be in prison for life or given the death penalty. We all know that. Why did Zuckerberg suddenly confess? Because he knows how to read the tea leaves. Trump is about to win a landslide victory. Zuckerberg is trying to save his own ass from a prison cell. Do you believe Biden and our government did this only to Zuckerberg? This is the tip of the iceberg. They extorted, threatened, and bribed every CEO of every social media company. This is the perfect criminal conspiracy case. If no red state AG or DA prosecutes them, then we know the entire system is rigged. They're all either complicit, bribed, blackmailed, or cowards. And finally, if we get indictments, then this becomes the largest class action lawsuit in the world history. Class action lawyers are salivating. There are trillions to be made from suing the federal government. every Biden-Harris official involved, Zuckerberg and every billionaire CEO of any media and social media company who censored, silenced, banned, covered up facts that resulted in a stolen election and death and injury to millions of American citizens. In this country, it says, no one is accountable. They are accountable when we, the people, decide to wake up and hold them accountable. But did you hear the last part of that? I mean, more time, guys. Finally, if we can't get an indictment, then this becomes the largest. If we can't get indictments, then this becomes the largest class action lawsuit in world history. All those people covered, censored, smashed, squashed, did whatever they could to make that administration, so-called administration, look good. And we've been sounding the alarm for a long, long time. Long time. Long time. So that's the Zuckerberg content. We need to not forget this. Not at all. We need to understand that he's covering his ass. He gave them all up. We have the case. No judge in the country can say there's no standing. It's an absolute lie. Chevron deference is gone, so there are no experts that can out-expert the guy on the bench. We just got to get it in front of the right judge. Because the judicial system has been exposed, so it's just as corrupt as the executive branch is. And then, obviously, the legislative branch is as much corrupt as all of it, right? All right, so let's see. All right, let's talk a little bit about how all of these former reps, Republicans, are part of these campaigns 20 years ago, are endorsing a Democrat. Now, we got RFK, Trump did, Tulsi Gabbard. They did a town hall. Kamala and Tim Walz did a choreographed 18-minute, not live, although CNN put live down there in their corner, like right there, said live. Should have said lies and not live. Yeah. They've done one in 40 days. Trump's been with what? Theo Vaughn, Sean Ryan, Elon Musk. There's someone that's, Tulsi Gabbard, Town Hall. Might be missing something. He's all over. He's all over. So, let's see what these former rep endorsements, former Republican endorsed Democrat Harris. Let's see what they got to say. Whoa, what do we got here? We got a liberal media gloats about hundreds of former Republican aides. Whoa, what do we got here? We got endorsing Kamala Harris. List is full of who? John McCain interns and volunteers. If you watched the two-part episode I did on John McCain from the article from Joe Lang, it was 2 articles actually, from his Substack, amazing. The treasonous, the way that character, John McCain, played. He was pardoned. He was given he was given everything. And then his little bitch daughter, let's watch. We got a little video here. Let's watch.
know if you're on the right side of things. Take a look at the dolts on the other side. According to a recent report from USA Today, 238 Republican staffers signed a letter endorsing Kamala Harris. The letter claims that another Trump presidency would irreparably damage our beloved democracy. And although they disagree with the Dems, the alternative is simply untenable. The staffers worked for McCain, George W. Bush, Mitt Romney, meaning the same people who were also once deemed a threat to democracy by the Dems. How quickly the stupid forget. So how is it that 238 genuine conservatives are so offended they're fleeing the GOP to glom onto the most liberal presidential candidate of our lifetimes, a lady unburdened by the weight of brain cells? A woman so left, she's left reality. I mean, this is a crackpot who bailed out violent felons, wants to tax money you haven't made yet, while also demanding that you pay for inmate sex changes. If she got any nuttier, you could feed her to an elephant. But the answer, as ever, is one word: Trump, and it trumps everything. It's never policy because they never mention it. Instead, they prattle on about nebulous fears while catering to a party that imports killers and rapists because apparently ours aren't up to the job. And they wrote a similar letter in 2020. So how'd that work out? We know it's like being circumcised with a spork for the past 4 years. We could go through the list of disasters from the border to Afghanistan, crime, inflation, not to mention the odd staffing decisions. So shouldn't these truth tellers at least admit their endorsement came at a cost? Or could it be it didn't cost them at all? They got a payoff, the media's strange new respect, invitations to cocktail parties previously off limits, a guest spot on CNN sniffing Jim Acosta's farts. And so after 4 years of left-wing lunacy, they went and did it again as if nothing happened in between. And you know it's not about policy. Hell, even Harris is stealing Trump's positions. Instead, it's that he refused to do it their way. So in a way, it's like suing the doctor who saved your life because he shaved your head to cut the tumor out. So now they're on the warpath like Liz Warren at a Columbus Day parade. You know, it's no question these Republicans took similar abuse from the left that Trump takes now. Every day, George W. Bush was called a war criminal. They deemed Romney a bigot, a cracker who'd put blacks back in chains. And there's McCain, who was loved by the media until he ran against Obama. Then he became the old reactionary bigot who'd bomb Iran and cause World War III. It's obvious these Republicans are more full of than a hotel toilet at an IBS convention. They're really just swamp rats terrified of the orange monster because he flipped the script. When Trump came along, nothing went according to plan. Republican or Democrat, there's an approved way of doing these things, approved pipelines to produce candidates. And Trump unclogged that pipeline with a fire hose filled with X-Lax. No wonder they act like they got their prostates punched by Mike Tyson. But remember, the Dems may be able to capture 238 drones, but Trump got a Tulsi and an RFK Jr., and that's a trade that I will take any day. Because those... Thank you. Because those two aren't just signing letters. They're putting themselves out there, offering ideas and discussing solutions. People who are, like Trump, willing to break the mold. So if you're truly radical, a rebel in the purest sense, how can you not do the same? You know, they sued Trump. They tried to arrest him. They tried to kill him. They changed laws and the ways we voted to prevent him from winning. They shamed, targeted, and hoaxed not just him, but also his supporters. What does that tell you? He's scary, scarier than a court-ordered orgy with The View. So this is the moment when you ask, do you want to join a petition of or a pirate ship full of scary people? The great thing about being on a pirate ship, you've already decided that you don't give a what people think. You're free, freer than those petition-signing pansies. Unlike them, you aren't desperate for acceptance. You are your own person. You don't need to belong. You just need to be honest, especially on November 5th.
He says a lot right there, don't he? Love how he goes into all that, the way that he did. Just absolutely cool. How he, man, just cool. All I can say. In their letter, the endorsement, the group said that the prospect of a Trump presidency would be simply unattainable, and that's what Gutfield was talking about. At home, another 4 years of Donald Trump chaotic leadership, this time focused and advancing the dangerous goals of Project 2025, will hurt real, everyday people and weaken our sacred institutions, they wrote. Broad democratic movements will be irreparably jeopardized as Trump and his acolyte J.D. Vance kowtow to dictators like Vladimir Putin while turning their backs on our allies. It's amazing. It's amazing to me they're more worried about their allies than they are the American people who supposedly voted them into the position that they are. Oh my gosh, just amazing. Amazing. Among other media outlets pushing the laughable story includes USA Today, CBS News, and even the New York Times. Meanwhile, Trump is winning endorsements from independent presidential candidates Robert F. Kennedy Jr., former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, and the mercurial billionaire Elon Musk. More than 200 Bush, McCain, Romney aides endorse Harris. Bush, McCain, Romney aides, more than 200 endorse Harris. Bush, McCain, Romney, Republicans? Rhinos! See, all these guys are being exposed. Look at Kissinger. That dude's rhino. Republican in name only. Very, very bad guy. Very bad guy. I mean, he's a whole show all by himself. You know that? I'm really glad that the show got better as time went on because the beginning was a mess. I'm much more happier, see? The letter said it was a reunion of sorts from 2020, though it added the additional Bush alumni in particular were added to the group this cycle that are opposing Trump and backing Harris. Of course, we have plenty of honest ideological disagreements with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. That's to be expected. The alternative, however, is simply unattainable, the Republicans wrote. They added, at home, another 4 years of Donald Trump's chaotic leadership, this time focused on advancing the dangerous goals of Project 2025. That is so stupid. Will hurt real, everyday people and weaken our sacred institutions abroad. Democratic movements will be irreparably jeopardized as Trump and his acolyte J.D. Vance kowtow to dictators like Putin while turning their backs on our allies. The Republicans also called on friends and colleagues to vote for leaders that will strive for consensus, not chaos, arguing that moderate Republicans and conservatives, independents in swing states brought Biden victory over Trump in 2020, and we all know that's bullshit. The Harris campaign touted the endorsement Monday, weeks after it launched the Republicans for Harris coalition. The campaign included a handful of GOP speakers, including ex-rep Adam Kinzinger, Illinois, former aides to Trump, at the Democratic National Convention last week. All those weak-ass so-called Republicans. I don't believe it. Not a single bit. I don't believe that at all. At all. Because I don't think they were real Republicans at the beginning. They might have been that way back like in 2020. Some of these are all like even further back than 2020. Like 2000. You're talking Bush. Or 2000. Just crazy, right? So, yeah. So that's the Zuckerberg content that we got into. I know I did a little bit of it last week, but the more of this came out, the more it intrigued me to realize that we have a Zuckerberg as a witness to what the United States government did to him. Like the article said, give him immunity, give up the bosses, right? And then we'll go from there to there to there till we get the ringleader of it all, and we can hang him in, where's it at? In Cuba. Where they're still building all those courthouses and stuff. Biden or Obama could stop it. But somehow Trump was able to fast forward it. Amazing. All right, so we got some caught up content. Caught up content. Maybe something I made, maybe something found. Dilly Meme Team. Everything all goes into what's going on. I wonder if I got the audio input on that. Do I? I do have the audio input on that. So, let's see. We have this one right here. Is that a good one? I think this is a good one. You guys are going to enjoy this.
We came too close. Now we're going back the other direction. We're not going to get calmer as years go by. We're going to get more fired up. We're going to want more. I want more. This culture war, you fucking idiots, is not something about just, the next re-election. We want it all back. We want our schools back. We want our education. We want our higher education back. We want our banking back. We want our celebrity fucking entertainment industries back. We want our music back. We want our sports back. We're fighting for all of it. I won't stop until we have every fucking aspect of Americanism back and actually representing America. We're raising an entire generation of patriots right behind us who have the exact same attitude and thoughts and approach. We're raising children. You're aborting them, we're raising them. We're raising them to vote. We're raising them to recognize bullshit. We're training them to not trust the government or the media. We're training them in weapons. We're training them in free speech. There's not a fucking thing the left can do about it. We're not going away. This is only the beginning. Globalism was a failed idea. That was the George Bush era Republican, rhino, sellout, scumbag, globalist approach to things. This is a new America. This is a new America that resembles the old America, except for with a lot more wisdom. And you're just going to have to get used to it, lefties. We're not going anywhere.
You're just going to have to get used to it, lefties, because we're not going anywhere. Love that. Dilly Meme Team, Dilly Show, all that. Those guys are great. Their content is amazing. They've got a long time and a long time to try to catch up to some of the stuff that they do, but they are absolutely amazing. Call this segment Caught Up Content. It's just content that I found or content that I've created.
This is all part of what the RNC calls a massive voter integrity operation.
We will have trained poll watchers, poll observers, poll workers, people in tabulation centers all across this country.
We're going to continue to push to make sure that we have the biggest, most robust national election integrity program in the history of the country.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody.
Make a big noise playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place.
Till the roof comes up, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit till my bone color, till the roof comes up, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit till my bone color.
Buddy, you're a young man, hard man, shouting in the street, gonna take on the world someday. You got blood on your face, a big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place.
Till the roof comes up, till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my high, I'ma rip this shit till my bone color. Until the roof comes on, the roof comes on, until my leg underneath.
If we catch you cheating and we're looking for you out there to cheat, we will prosecute you to the full extent of the law.
That right there, did you see that video, that meme, all that put together is exactly why Zuckerberg wrote that letter to Jim Jordan in Congress in that subcommittee to make sure that his ass was covered. What'd she say there at the very end? If we find out that you're cheating, we are. That video was basically about protecting the vote. However they're going to do that, protecting the vote. That's where that's coming from. That's what that video is all about. That's why that's called Caught Up Content. I love that right there. The Dilly Meme Team. Once again, the Dilly Meme Team, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to think about that. Amazing. Let's see what else we got going on.
Let's see it. 2024 is the final battle. They're going after Trump, and if they can get Trump, it means they can get you, they can get me, they can get all of us. He is standing in the way, and that can sound like a campaign slogan, but it's very true. Now we're approaching the most important battle of our lives. Now, for the very first time in American history, a sitting president's DOJ has indicted his top political rival ahead of a presidential campaign. When they indicted me for nothing, I said, now the gloves are off. Now we have to say if I can see the crook. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Now we're approaching the most important battle of our lives. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before. You told me you were drowning. I will not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. I was there.
after them. And it's not necessarily to teach that person a lesson. It's to teach all of the people that are watching a lesson.
The last time we ever met.
When we get back in the White House, I will totally obliterate the deep state.
The hurt doesn't show, but the pain still grows. Some stranger to you and me.
Get back power. I don't really want to have peace with these people who did this to us and are continuing to do this to us. We have to turn the tables on them, give them a dose of their own medicine, and then we can even the playing field, and then we can discuss unity.
Hello? Yeah. Another Dilly meme team, man. They do amazing work. Why would I mean, yeah. I can't wait to catch up. That video, Phil Collins, Miami Vice, like, I don't know, late 80s. They came after him. They failed an assassination attempt. They failed it. East Tennessee education here. Public schooling. That's why you get all this great content like that, you know? Because, I mean, I had to ask why. Even in high school, I asked why. If you ever were around people that grew up around me, they would tell you. I probably asked why. My mother, God rest her soul, she would tell you. I would ask why. All right, more caught up content. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. 1 second here. We gotta go into this little category right here. And, hang on 1 second. I'll see.
Try all the way up to it, and we'll have to see how this plays out in the end. But I do believe that they're prepared to actually go with their second option, and that is a cyber attack. This is why CISA is preparing for a cyber attack. And I do believe they are prepared to either say that there was a cyber attack during the election and the election's manipulated. Then they have to admit that, by the way, the systems were connected to the internet, or they can say that we got a cyber attack the day before, a couple days before the election. They implemented malware, which manipulated the elections, and the election results, we don't know if they're real or not. And or they could say there's a cyber attack the day of the election and say we have to delay the elections, or maybe a day before saying the systems are down because we were plugged in, downloading the patches and testing and whatever they were doing. So those are the scenarios that I do believe that CISA is already preparing for these cyber attacks, and they're going to build this up quite a bit. Now, we're going to be talking a lot more about this a little bit later, but first,
okay, so that's darn it, that's Dave from X22. He's talking CISA, same thing. It was from his show today. CISA, Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency. I've done a lot over the 37 shows that I've got. CISA's been talked about frequently on this show or this program. Anyway, Dave from X22, he's telling the truth. He's doing the same thing we are, except he's got a huge following. It's like 700,000 people. But he's game theorying stuff. He's talking about all the things that they're trying to do ahead of our November vote. And so it's important. When I tell you guys, it's probably important to vote the day of. I say that only because they have all the time to manipulate your vote. We have to vote. You can't vote any harder than you voted the last time you voted, regardless of how or we come across this, express it, whatever. But what's important is that you do vote, so that when and if, because they're going to try to steal it, that if you get canvassed, someone comes to your home, knocks on your door, wants to verify that you voted for who you voted for, you can show that. If you don't show up to vote, then you can't. I mean, I guess you can. You can tell me you didn't vote, and they can show you that your vote was for the candidate that you probably wasn't going to vote for to begin with. Long story short, show up to you vote, and we have to win within the system that they gave us. And then from there, once we win in the system, then we can change the system according to the way it was designed. So you have to show up and vote. You got to show up and vote. The Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. Anything and everything cybersecurity infrastructurally, according to this country, that they've gotten their hands on has gone wrong. The best example I can give you is the Key Scott Bridge, the one that got hit by the barge and demolished it. They were in charge of that shit. So once you do some research to go back or watch some previous shows of mine, most of them have a description of what I talk about for the most part. So you can go back and find it. But that's where it'll be. Okay. I think oops, wrong. I have a one more video on the caught up content by X22 Report and Dave. We will let him do his thing, and I'll keep my big mouth shut while we listen.
They didn't. That should tell you everything you need to know. And the other thing that should tell you everything you need to know is that the deep state players, we could see that they're ramping up on the cyber attack. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, they introduced an online portal this Thursday for organizations to voluntarily report malicious cyber attacks, vulnerabilities, and data breaches. The timing is absolutely perfect. So CISA said the incident report should capture key details of breach or attack, including when an incident is discovered, the tactics, techniques, and procedures of the attacker, a description of how the attack or breach was discovered, what vulnerabilities were exploited to enable the attack, technical indicators and artifacts of compromise, such as malware hashes, IP addresses, URLs, phishing emails, malware samples, or suspicious files that were uploaded. So it looks like they are preparing to show the world, look, we're getting all this information. Cyber attacks are happening across the country. Now remember, this is an invisible enemy, just like the virus. It's very easy to create the narrative when it's invisible. So if they say that they're getting bombarded in this portal with all this information of cyber attacks happening around the country, how would you really know? You wouldn't. If the news comes on and says, yes, CISA says cyber attacks are happening all over the place, and now we have evidence that, yes, some of the water filtration systems that were hit, all they got to do is turn it off. They're non-operational. All they have to do is turn off the power in some towns and show it on the news. This will convince you that there is truly a cyber attack. And this is, I do believe, what they're going to try to do, to convince you that the infrastructure was hit. Remember, the election is part of the infrastructure.
So there you go. It's X22 reporting again with Dave. He shows you the website, CISA. I've showed you myself many, many times where you go. I get alerts to let me know that these things are happening. They give out these bulletins to these non-governmental organizations that are in charge of election infrastructure, that are in charge of all of our cyber infrastructure, and they ask them to report, and it shouldn't be that way. That is proving that the government is far bigger than what it should be. The private sector should be over more of that than the government. Some things I understand have to be that way, but for the most part, 90% of it should be a civilian-based type of deal, and big government should be out of that, you know. So just disappointing. CISA, they're going to try something, guys. We're winning the agenda, the narrative, the exposure, everything that's going on. You got RFK Jr. that exposed, you know, Make America Healthy Again. You got Tulsi Gabbard, who is exposing the IVF, the pregnancy thing, which I don't fully understand, and I'm not going to pretend that I understand it. I haven't done enough research on it, and probably won't. But these things are being exposed in such a fashion that it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. The health industry, our medical field. Look, I know people went in the medical field with the impression that they were going to help patients. They were going to heal people. My mother was one of them. She worked 24 plus years on the oncology department, floor 5, in the area in which we live, in East Tennessee. And she died on the exact floor she worked for 24 plus years with cancer. There's a problem, and RFK Jr. is a part of that. The whole thing that Trump said about, you know, pregnancy and being, you know, children being born in this country, our population, making things exist. We've been taught that we were not supposed to have large families, when in fact we probably should have had large families. More than just a couple kids. I subjected myself to have a blended family, obviously, so that makes my family much larger. But I have 2 sons originally, and maybe I should have had more. But I was raised on the premises that you don't have kids unless you can afford it. all those kinds of things. And our country was made and built on many more principles than the things that we were brainwashed by over a period of time. And so that's the goal of what's going on here, is that we expose all these things, and they have been exposed. And the fact that Trump got two giant Democratic people, and there's going to be more. This new Democratic Party, the Uniparty, which includes, I would say, 98% of the Republican Party, with apparently 98% of the Democratic Party, is not your grandfather's Democratic Party that you were once told about. These are the people that created the KKK. These are the people that believe in communism, Marxists. They are the people that want you to understand that democracy is supposed to be bigger than the republic, and it's not, and that our God-given rights are inalienable. They say they are, what's the right damn word? They're up for, good gosh. They've all said it in one form or fact. Anyway, they're not up for discussion. They're God-given. No man can take that from us. So, I love that. I absolutely love that. Hang on. Got a little bit more of some caught up content. What the hell's going on? He's trying to shut me down. Let's see. Where's it at? Right here, hang on. I believe this is the right video. It is the right video. Okay, guys, this is the right video. It's Devolution. It's Patel Patriot, John Harold. It's Just Human, and it's Burning Bright, and they are talking about devolution, and more so John's talking about it. It's a little bit from the past, but it goes in coordination with what's going on right now, and so I hope you guys enjoy it.
When you actually look at all this stuff, there is documented proof that something different is going on.
And in my second term, which we're sort of having now, but I don't want the results, right?
There's a flurry of moves at the Department of Defense, which Rachel Maddow on TV,
kind of a weird reaction to losing the election, right? Immediately fire the defense secretary and install a new guy.
What should happen is what the plan that we're on now, and I think a plan that's going to make people very, very happy.
What do they think the NSA and the CIA can do if they were suddenly commandeered by Trump lackeys?
We have some very good controls in place. And they're going to get 3 more years. They rig an election, they're going to get another 3 more years.
Trump was making tons of moves in irregular warfare, specifically having to do with irregular warfare. And then just like a couple months ago, he comes out and openly admits that the last 7 years, our intel agencies have been conducting
illegal psychological warfare campaigns against the American people. I'm a wartime president. This is a war. This is a war, different kind of a war than we've ever had.
Chris Miller cut the red tape for Ezra Cohen-Watnick, the head of special operations, to report directly to Christopher Miller, the Secretary of Defense.
They think it's a trick that I'm playing on them. They think I'm playing a trick.
On December 7th, when Donald Trump issued the executive order which implemented and executed a continuity of government plan.
They cheated, and it's a shame that they're allowed to get away. And let's see whether or not they do get away, because I don't think they will get away with it.
Chris Miller, who's been the Secretary of Defense for a month and 5 days or something, says we've been through some of the most
complex military operations this country's ever conducted.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, when you rob the store of its diamonds, I always say Tiffany, and you rob Tiffany of its diamonds and you get caught, you're supposed to return them. So we caught them cheating. You're going to let somebody that cheated stay for 3 more years? I can't imagine it.
Donald Trump issued 10 national security presidential memorandums in his last 10 days in office Those specifically deal with national security matters. He issued one every 53.7 days leading up to that point, and he issued 10 in his last 10 days, and some of them are still classified. We have no idea what they are.
If we are right about the fraud, Joe Biden can't be president. But when you're beating the so-called, I say so-called president of the United States, when you're beating him by so much.
2 days before Trump left office, the continuity of government protocol, like the warning system, was sent out to thousands of government employees. And everybody's like, what the hell is going on?
I don't want the results of this second term. This second term is a disaster for this country.
Do you see what I mean? John Harold, Burning Bright, Just Human, and then you got Patrick Gunnels, Chris Paul, and Saturday Show. That's beautiful. That insight right there is absolutely beautiful. Trump's second term, it's a disaster because it was an exposure phase. Biden never really got the 81 million. It was the government's burden of proof. It was never. It was thrown out of courts because of no standing, which is saying that the judges are pansy ass, got no balls to take on cases. I wish that had been smart enough to have been told about that I should have became a judge. The way I believe someone would have came in my courtroom with that shit, I'd have found you fucking guilty. The election was stolen from the American people, and there's more proof of that than there is that Joe Biden and that illegitimate administration got the required votes that it took and the electoral votes to become the president of the most powerful country in the world. You'll never convince me. And you can't prove it. I'll give you all the time in the world to prove it. As I said, there's more proof that that never happened than there is. What happened is that you became you watched the television, the Associated Press and Fox and the rest of them told you wasn't true. That's a fact. So let's see, I think I got another, but I think it's me. I think it's what I created. There is another video out there somewhere. I always forget one. It just happens that way. I mean, it just happens. You know, you always forget one. You get all this stuff lined up in a show, like in order, and then something happens, like, you know, your audio doesn't work at the beginning of the show. I apologize for that. If you can read lips, I am so sorry. But I didn't have any fucking audio. Here I am talking, saying hello, 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 over and over and over again, and you lose people. You know, it's not like I got a whole bunch of followers. I think it says 61. Really have 41, because 20 of them are fake. And of the 41, I probably know 15 of them personally. The other 25, 26 that are out there that I don't know. And then the 20 that was given to me that claim they do know. All right, let's go to this. All right, guys. For those that are still watching, that are left, I know this show's an echo chamber. It's for content creators, but every once in a while, I get to create something. And so I took Dave from X22 Report, yesterday's show, I believe it was, and he had this beautiful explanation in this statement. And then I found all the right pictures, and I took the video, and I just added his audio, and I added my pictures, and then I put people on the porch music in the background of it, a little lower, and the beginning it's a little louder, then while Dave's talking it's lower, and at the end it's finished, and it's called Broken Town. It is something that I don't have that plays on the first 5 or last 5 songs at the beginning and the end of the show, because as you all know, there are 17 minutes at the beginning, 17 minutes at the end. It's 38 minutes of music that is belonging to people on the porch who I think are very much so amazing. And so I compiled a video and I made some content, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you enjoy it.
Chaos, and they're going to need their plandemic. And you can see they're starting and pushing their plandemic right now. Look at all the individuals that are saying that they're coming down with COVID. We had Fauci, then we had the DNC, then we had Hillary Clinton. Now we have D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. She tested positive for coronavirus. I mean, what a coincidence that this is all happening right now. Isn't it amazing? Right before the election. It's absolutely incredible. Then, out of the Hill, we have this article. Summer COVID surge shows we may have to return to 2020 pandemic measures. Who's in? Who's ready to go? You ready to put your mask on? Are you ready to get the bioweapon? Are you ready to stay at home? Why do you think they're doing this? They're doing it because they're trying to create fear. They're trying to convince you the pandemic is here. Why do you think they hid ivermectin? Why do you think they hid hydroxychloroquine? Why do you think they hid zinc and D3? Plus, your body will heal itself. Once again, they don't want you to know that. And I do believe in the blue cities, they're going to tell people to mask up. They're going to tell people, don't go outside. Stay inside as best you possibly can. And they're going to use the mosquito disease. They're going to use bird flu. They're going to use Mpox. And they're going to use all of this to push fear. That's the most important thing. So this is right on scale.
This storm's around. It's time to leave. It's time to leave this broken town.
Okay, I made that. That's all me. That's people on the porch in the background. That's Dave from X22 Report statement. And those are the pictures that I could find on the internet. And I tried to make it correlate with what he was saying. And the video app software that I have allows me to do that, along with the broadcast app that I have on this laptop of mine. Makes this all possible. And Resolute Tech guy made it all possible, because if it wasn't for him, this old guy, he would have took a lot longer to figure all this out. Made it fast. He exposed me to technology in a way, Resolute Tech guy, in a way that this old guy had never been involved with before. And so, man, I so appreciate that, because I get to get on here and in echo chamber the people who I believe to be pretty good. And look, I got diverse. You got Badlands Media. If you've not been to Badlands Media, man, they have everything. They got sports. On Sunday, they got religion. Monday through Saturday, they got all kinds of different content. They're on Rumble. They're on everything. Then you have X22 Report with Dave, who does interesting interviews, which is where I met Patel Patriot unofficially. I've never met him in person. It's where I found him a few years ago, all by himself, talking about his Devolution series, which was just an infant at the very time that I heard from it, and I believed in it like the gospel, so to speak. And it made me do a little bit more research. If you know me, you know that I went all the way back to Dan Bongino. Not a fan of his now. He sold out. I know he's big, and I know people still listen to him. I was listening to him when he was in the basement of his house, just after he got his ass robbed from an election that he ran for. I forget what position he was running for. I think it was in the state of Virginia, because that's where he lived while he was a Secret Service agent in D.C. I think. I could be wrong about my facts, but I'm close. So, yeah, and then while Alex Jones and I are probably close in the same age, I know that dude got access to information that the rest of us didn't. But that motherfucker's a dumbass, in my opinion. Listened to him for years, forcefully sometimes, because the people that you was around had to have them on, and I just didn't care for the guy ever at all. And then, as time has gone by, it's come out to be more true than not. He's one of them people that give you just enough of the truth and then tell you it's okay to get drilled in the butthole. Just my opinion about Alex. And there's probably a whole bunch more out there that are like that. So I've done my diligent work, I think. And if you don't agree with it, there are very many more options out there than the ones that I offer. And but anyway, in the end, I hope you like, share, and all the good stuff. And I really believe I got one more video, I think. And if I can find it. It could be very good. Very good. I don't know why I say it like that. I really feel like I'm forgetting something, and I think that's just normal, You're trying to get it all out there. There is one more that I have found. I do want to share. And may have been the one. May have been the one that I'm thinking that it was, but I could be wrong. Oh, but if you're afraid of bad words, it's called Fuck the Establishment. And I hope you enjoy. I do have one more after this. I remember what it is now. So enjoy this one, and then enjoy the...
You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I run shit here. You just live here. I see dead people. Forgiveness is between them and God. My job to arrange the meeting. Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this to me? I'ma burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
What a moving evening this is. I am sitting here listening, watching, absorbing, thinking about Ali, even though I never met him. And with this kind of inspiration, I will go and take Trump out tonight.
You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Don't tell anybody I told you this. Trump, I use his name. Trump is goading us to impeach him. We can't impeach him for political reasons, and we can't not impeach him for political reasons.
That's all right. That's all right. Shit, I don't fuck. I'm winning anyway. I'm winning. I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose. Shit, you can shoot me, but you can't kill me.
Dilly Meme Team, man, them boys. You got Maga Devil Phantom. I can't believe I forgot his name, Phantom. I so apologize. You have to find him on Twitter from there, or X, formerly known as Twitter. Anyway, Phantom Shadow. I'm so sorry. But you'll find them there. They do an amazing job, man, the way they make their videos. I share it. That's why I call myself Echo Chamber. All right, let me find this last one. I made it as a someone made. I just took the parts and pieces, put it together. Let's see. Trying to think. Where's it at? How funny. Give me a second, guys, because I gotta remember the name of it. I created it. This might be it. So it's something I robbed off of TikTok. It's amazing. Disturbed. I have a cousin who I love very, very much, and I think this is one of her favorite bands, and it just reminded me of her and what she did. It's funny-ish, So we'll leave on a happy note, right? Not necessarily leave on a happy note, because, you know, I have a little bit to say as soon as the video's over, but watch. That chick did an excellent job. That's funny as hell, guys. So we're at the end of the show, right? We did the Mark Zuckerberg content all over again. Only reason why is because we have the most profound, amazing witness in the world that can expose all treason and traitors, things that the federal government did that would actually hold up in court and find them publicly executed, which is what we need. I know that some of you don't like to hear that, but a few public executions live on television would send a message to our country, maybe the rest of the world, that if you get caught doing these things and you fuck the American people, it will cost you your life. What's the beginning of the show called? Hang on. 1 second here. Episode 37. Hidden in your world you've made for me. And when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. So, that's where we are. Mark Zuckerberg exposed them, right? Tulsi Gabbard exposed the healthcare industry when it comes to the IVF. RFK Jr. exposed the health industry as it comes to everything childhood related, obesity, diabetes, cancerous. I mean, it's a huge exposure phase. Donald Trump exposed what? Legislative, judicial, executive, and the fourth branch that they tried to get you to believe existed but was unconstitutional. It's been amazing. Amazing time in history. And if you're following it for the way that it's been presented to us in that manner, then you'll understand. When we want to know who they are, I have a show on who they are. We talk about who they are. It's the uniparty. It's the elite. It's a mixture of people overseas, including the ones that are citizens within this country. They care less about you than what you think. So, anyhow, as I always try to tell you guys, Caught Up is an echo chamber, and echo chamber that is the channel called Resolute Exposure, which means determined to tell, and my job is determined to tell. I'm not a tattletale. I'm determined to tell. I want you guys to know the truth so you can make the best educated decision for yourself. And know that we're not ready yet for this kinetic war that some may be out there preaching. And also, if you have loved ones in your family, as I try to end most all shows, I know the beginning of the show is hell. It's hell for me. But if you can get past it, you got a great show. But in the end, we always say, don't let this consume you to the point of a loner within your family. So do your best to stand up, create whatever it is that the hell you got to do. Like I did, I got a podcast. The wife and the kids were like, "You're driving me crazy. Create a podcast or something in a way to express yourself." And so I did, and here we are. And but beyond that, hug their necks, love them, wife, children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. And tomorrow we play Chattanooga at home. If you're at Neyland Stadium, you'll see me. I'll be wearing that. And I fully expect. Well, I'm not a fan of the coach. He's okay. Just not the biggest fan of him. I am a fan of the players on the team. That we bring a natty in the first year of this playoff system like we did in 1998 when it was the first year of the 4-team BCS Bowl system. So I'm rooting on the University of Tennessee football team to bring it home again, and under the leadership of Nico, and however the hell you pronounce his last name, I think it's Iamaliva. I think. But if you're at Neyland Stadium tomorrow, you'll see me there. I ain't gonna tell you where, but I'll be there. So, hug the necks of the people that you love. Respect foremost the Lord. There's somebody bigger. And then remember that everything is bullshit. And the people that we wake up, the more that our country becomes the way that it was designed. Y'all have a blessed Friday, good Saturday, and I hope that your college team, whoever they may be, becomes victorious. Don't forget about people on the porch.
My heart, pumping all day long, getting me the morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. Bear it, it takes so long to mend. It's harder to lean on this shell of a man. You found love in the Lord, your family and your friends. Could you please pray for me that I can find the same within? My heart, pumping on. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like a love, nothing like a love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna head on home before it gets too late. I turn it upside down and be thankful for what he gave. I'm gonna pick my bones up and walk through the storm I made. I'm gonna hold on tight to you when it gets rough. I'm gonna lay down all my cards and call your bluff. Because the one thing in this moonlit room I trust is the beauty of your smile and the warmth inside your touch. Oh, there's nothing like love, nothing like love of a woman. The way she holds you tight, way she holds you tight when you need it most. It gives you just that little bit, just to keep on living. And that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. That's when you find out what you're made of. My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. We were younger when we first laid eyes. I was walking up in heaven's skies. How about you? Did you feel it too? I don't believe in love at first sight. Now you make me wanna change my mind. How about you? Oh, how about you? My heart is like a lighthouse, just trying to get you home. Your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I say. I've been drinking drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. You home, your soul is like an anchor, just dragging you along. Pay no mind to what I'm saying. I've been drinking all day long. I just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. I just wanna hold you, just wanna hold you while we dance to this song. In a world that's black and white, wondering why things they did not turn out quite right. Please believe me, please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. The rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. Take it. Please believe me. Please don't leave me. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? Please believe me. Please don't leave me now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me? The rain is falling slow. It's cold, we know. We're standing in it too. You're there, your hair is soaking wet. Please take my jacket. You look better in it anyway. You look better in it anyway. Just take watching you go through it. You're living, you're loving, you're laughing, you're playing, you're singing, you're dancing in the dark. You're dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. I said I'm sorry. You're dancing in the dark. Wind is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. You needed to You meant everything to me. While you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leads the way, while the future, it fades into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my